your 6 months goals, and your 1 year goals. Who has something that they're bold enough to say that they're going to have done before this year is over? Okay, go ahead.
I'm Jennifer, and I said this year's over. I have been booked to an established Netflix series.
I like that. Yes. You see the specificity, right? If we don't know where we're going, what are we doing, right? We have to have a plan or an aim in mind. And that's what we're all about with Actors Jumpstart. We really want to teach you how to set your goals. We want to teach you how to set your goals properly and then put a plan together. So before you leave this weekend, I want to assist you in helping you with that plan. And then we're going to get started on the panel. We have the amazing Dylan up here. He has a great platform, which everybody should be a part of. And we're going to talk about that in just a moment. But I want us to start with intention, right? Intention is the key word. So who's another person that is going to, don't say I'm going to, well, I might have a, no. I am. Who wants to go ahead and go next with their goal? Go ahead, Tiff.
I have just signed with the new TV company.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. We're gonna put the plan together this weekend. Who else? I want to see some new people. I don't know. You so pretty. What's your name?
Christy.
Christy. Oh yeah, we getting all this shy stuff out the way. We family here, right? All right, Christy. So what is your goal before the year is over?
I'm still trying to figure it out.
You're still trying to figure it out. So let's do a quick coaching and then we're going to get to the panel. Could I get my tea, please, out of there? About to go. I've been talking so much, y'all. I've been like literally running around. Y'all saw me at church, literally in a hoodie. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, so let's put a quick plan together and then we're going to get to the panel. So where do you see yourself? Like, what is your goal when it comes to acting? Like, as far as, like, do you see yourself on a certain show? Let's help her out. Come up here real quick. Let's help her.
Yes.
This is the first exercise that we do. You already know the first exercise that we do. What kind of roles do you see her playing? Just spit it out. Teacher. Doctor. Mother. Photographer. Artsy. Yeah. Artist. Okay. College student. Okay.
Somebody nice.
Sweet girl, right? Sweet girl. Okay. Girl next door. So from that, what you do is now you're going to get some headshots that have all of those different looks, right? So what we want to start off by doing first is knowing what our niche areas are, right? You need to know what niche roles you would book simply because from there, you can build your package. What is your package? Your headshots, your website, your demo reel. So you would get some headshots as the artsy girl next door. You would get some headshots as the sweet student. You would get some headshots as I can even see like as a medical student or some type of character. So you would get headshots surrounding that, right? With no aim, we don't know where to go, right? So that's where you start. Does that give you a better idea? So your first step should be writing those characters down that you just heard and getting headshots that actually are applicable in alignment to those characters. Did that help anybody else that literally? Okay. Because that's how you start. Like, a lot of people don't realize it really starts with knowing who you are. Like, you could go in as the ghetto girl, like, I'm not a ghetto, but I got my daddy's side.
It's the live stream. I'm gonna get the stand off the car to put it in.
Actually, you want to look at me like she's the girl, hood girl. Like, look how I talk, right? So you want to go with things that are naturally in alignment with who you are naturally. So you're not really acting, you're just being. And you're not trying too hard to be something that you're not, instead of starting in your sweet spot. So does that help you?
It does, actually, yes.
Okay. You're welcome. Great. Okay. Yes. Timothy.
Okay, Kendall. I already stated my goals and everything, and my goals are actually in process right now. So I already said that I want to look at least 3 to 4 commercials before the end of the year. Actually, 2 of those commercials will be airing by the end of November.
gotta ride. So this is my student Tammy. I want you to just start from where you, cause so everyone starts somewhere, right? And Tammy, we met through a hairdresser.
Yes. Literally, we had the same hairdresser.
I'll let you go ahead.
Didn't know. Oh, first of all, my name is Tammy T, and I am a student of Active Jumpstart. So I've been a student for the last 4 years, but within the first 6 months of being with Active Jumpstart, I booked a national commercial. I got a billboard on the wall with my picture. And within those years, I got an agent. I had like at least 4 to 5 auditions a day. So when things slowed down, I was still pushing my way and submitting myself, and I was still getting auditions even though the business was slow. So during your process, you have to keep going whether you have an agent or not. So now, in the beginning, I started out with this one company that did not work out at all. Not at all. I invested so much into my career, so much money, and got nothing. So when I met Kendall, I was like, this is the thing. This is it. This is the place where I go places. And my golly, Josh, I am. You know what I mean? I have met, and this is like today is like, I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna even say I'm overwhelmed. I am so excited. I am like so happy. And I'm standing here like, am I really standing here? Am I like really seeing other people in the same position, going the same road, taking the same process as me? We can all do this together. You know what I mean? So we are going to make this very first Active Jumpstart Entertainment Wealth Summit the best first Active Jumpstart Entertainment.
So I want you all to know that what you're about to learn over the weekend is really going to be valuable to you. The guests that we've had come in, all the strategies that I've learned over the years, you have a couple of decades of wisdom that's been important to you over this weekend. So just really respect it, implement it, and you respect it by implementing it. And, you honor us by actually getting the results. So, hey! Literally. So I am so excited. I met you through one of my amazing students, Zuli. She's guilty. And I just want to say congratulations on all your accomplishments. He has a show right now, Family First. Family business on BET.
On BET Plus.
Yes. And literally, y'all, give him a round of applause. Literally. That's not your only booking. Like, I look at your IMDb and it's lit. Like, look him up. Like, for real. No, look Dylan up. So we're going to go over your platform that you created for actors because I think that is so special. The community that you created. So go ahead and talk about that a little bit.
Thank you. Yeah. Hello. You know what? I'm so grateful to be here. Let me just start that off by saying first of all, thank you for having me. I always make it a point to support our people, Black folks, colored people. It's important for me. It's part of who I am. So that's why I'm here supporting you because you are amazing. Zuli was blowing me up in my DM, talking about you gotta meet Kendall. Kendall says she changed some of people's lives and this and that. I said, who is this Kendall? Kendall, hi, I'm Dylan. Zuli, people keep hitting me up about you. I heard you're doing amazing things. what can we do to work together? And of course, we did a live yesterday, Facebook Live, and I'm here today. By the way, I'm Dylan Moon. I don't think I said it. I think I just got so excited. Anyway, as Kendall mentioned, I am in the show of family business. It's been a great, amazing thing. I just booked a movie yesterday, a big movie that's shooting in Vegas. I can't say much about it, obviously. You know, I got those NDA things and stuff. But I'm very excited about that. Also, before I even get to the platform and the app, I also want to mention that I partnered with Glass Slipper Pictures, and this is important for y'all. Glass Slipper Pictures, it's a distribution company. I am a partner. We acquisition content. We have a deal with Tubi. If you have content, if you have a film, if you have a web series, there's certain parameters of it, but if you have content, holler at me. I have a deal with Tubi. I can get on Tubi. Tubi is doing something phenomenal for Black folks. First of all, Black folks support. Does everybody know what Tubi is?
Yeah.
It's a free streaming platform.
Yeah.
It is supported by mostly comprised of Black females. So Tubi, real quick, I know this is a little off subject, but I have to say
No,
this.
absolutely, share.
Exactly, because these people can make money and get their content out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
They realized that their demographic was Black females. So they went out and partnered with distribution companies, one being Glass Slipper Pictures, to basically partner with them to go out and acquisition content to put on their platform. Tubi does something very unique. They split the ad revenue with the distribution and filmmakers. So people out here with films that they made for $10 are getting hundreds of thousands of dollars through ad revenue. It's amazing. So if you've got content, holler at me. I'm very easy to find. Call Kendall. She'll call me. Whatever. We'll work it out. I really wanted to put that out there. It's the CEO, Chandrella Avery. I don't know if you know who she was, or it was, who she is. She played LaFonda in Napoleon Dynamite. She's been on a bunch of TV shows, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, one-on-one?
Yeah, no, she was on,
She played Candy.
yes, Kenny, yes,
Yes.
and you know. So that's my sister. She's CEO of the company.
Okay.
So I just really want to put that out there because I know a lot of people have content and things and don't know what to do with it, don't know how to get it on platforms. So I want to make sure that you all know that I do that as well. I'm not just an actor.
Yeah.
I'm out here trying to make moves with people.
You want to give them your information so they can.
Dylan Mooney, my email is d.mooney, MOONEY, Inc., INC, @gmail.com. d.mooney, Inc., @gmail.com. Should I give my phone number too? Please. Phone number is 323-640-5578. I can't believe I just did that. Say it one more time. 323-640-5578. If I start getting a bunch of spam, I'm gonna call you soon.
I'm gonna put a little parameter around that. Text them first and only between the hours of, what hours do you?
Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. No, bro, hit me up though if you got something. And by the way, pass it on to somebody else.
Not your phone.
Part of this business is supporting somebody else. Part of elevating yourself is supporting somebody else. Doing something for someone else, not for yourself. Right? That's how you actually elevate yourself, is you help people. You see what I'm saying? This is the first Entertainment Wealth Summit. There's gonna be so many more. One day she's gonna be so famous, and she's gonna stay humble. You better stay humble. You better stay humble. One day this is gonna be at a convention. You hear me? A convention. That's the type of energy you put out there for people, for other people. Right?
Yes.
Okay. So, hi, I'm Dylan Mooney. I'm sorry I had to go through that. Come on in, brother. Have a seat. We just mentioned you, by the way. Oh, there's a good looking kid right there. I like that. That's your son. That's a good looking dude right there. Come on, man. So anyway, so get into my app and my platform that we've created for actors. It's called Actor Trade. Is a free live rehearsal and self-tape app for actors that everybody should be using. I just use my own app to book a movie. I'm not playing it. What it does, it provides a service that we all need as actors, right? We have an audition. We need to rehearse for things. Where's my reader? Forever, for years and years and years, I was using my wife as a reader. Until one day, she works a real 9-to-5 job, by the way. I'm just an artist and doing all kinds of stuff. So I'm at home just chilling. She's like, she's working on computers and making calls. And so for years and years and years, I'm very serious when I get an audition. I rehearse hardcore. I'm off book for every single audition. It doesn't matter how many pages it is, I am off book. That's how much work I put into every audition. And what our percentages are what? 10%? If we're lucky, 5%. It's the booking rate. I mean, let's just be honest. So all of that work that I put in, I use my wife as a reader until one day, Ariel, right?
Yes.
Just imagine you being my wife, and every single day after you come home from work, you have to rehearse for hours and hours and hours. That's how serious I am. I'm crazy. I'm a lunatic. I'm serious. And so one day she came home. First of all, I got 3 auditions in one day. And so I was texting her. Babe, when you get home, we gotta rehearse. She knows the whole routine. I'll be off book. I always tell her, I'll be off book, so it'll just be rehearsal. Because she would get a little irritated when I wasn't off book. And so I'll be off book, I promise. Crickets. About to take my damn ring off. Hello? My life. Hello. Nothing all day. I knew something was wrong. And then she walked in the face, little short Colombian girl. And she's a little pale. You're Colombian too? She looks just like you, actually. And she came, fair skin like you. Came in and you could tell when she's like, something's wrong with her. She's very quiet, very introverted. Just red, walked in red face. I knew something was wrong. Imagine you being my wife, Ariel. I know that's kind of weird, but don't think about it too hard. She walks in, and I said, babe, I've been texting you all day. I got to rehearse. And she just said, honey, I love you, but I fucking hate rehearsing. And I'm not doing it ever again. Straight up to my face. I was, oh my God, I cannot believe this lady just said that to me. Of course, for almost a decade, I used her, so I obviously had to respect her opinion, and I knew that it sucked for her. It did. She works all day long and it comes up. So I decided, if I have this problem, somebody else has this problem. All actors have this problem. Who's going to be my reader? I said, you know what, I'm gonna do something about it. So I sat back, I started thinking about things, started writing things down. Finally, I started making designs. Like I get a little, very into something if I'm doing it. Went out, partnered with a friend of mine. Chandrella Avery is one of the co-founders of my app. Make a long story short, because it's very long. It's already pretty long, isn't it, Kendall? It's okay. Everybody's like, shut up. Let's get to the point. So basically, I went out, created a design, found an investor, and they invested $150,000 in my idea to make this app, close to it, which provides free live rehearsal and self-taping for actors. Zuli can be living in Colombia, back in Colombia. I don't know. I could be living in France. We can connect on the app. You can upload a script directly to the app so your reader can have the script right there for them. The script is protected. There's no way of downloading it, forwarding it, screenshotting it. If you screenshot it, we get alerted, they get alerted, and we will kick people out if they do stuff like that. Anyway,
It's amazing.
you connect, it's like FaceTime with the script, and then when you're done rehearsing, the script's right there for your reader, they can read it, they can zoom in on it, they can put it on their iPad, whatever. You click a button, and you can self-tape with any reader in the world. It was invented by a black man. A black man. Look right here. Black man. Y'all realize that? A black man invented something. My God. Wow. Can you believe it? No, of course we can. So I'm really proud of that. So we have over 25,000 users. We've been featured in Variety, LA Business. We've been featured all over the place. So I'm really, really proud of it. But one thing that we did that I'm even more proud of, even in the app, even the fact that we created this app for actors that you all should be using, right, Kendall? Is the fact that we created this group called Rehearsal, write it down, Rehearsal and Self-Tape Partners for Actors. Tammy T was one of the original members back in the day. Yeah, both of our originals, right there. Rehearsal and Self-Tape Partners for Actors. You can go join the group, it's free. What you do is you basically, if you need a reader remotely, you can basically post in the group, and there are gonna be a bunch of people that will say, hey, I will help you. Let's jump on the app. We don't make people jump on the app because we wanted to provide, for me, I wanted to provide a platform for actors just to connect. It was created by our company, but we never wanted to just include people that wanted to use other ways. So if you want to do your Zoom, 2-device, looking all over, not even looking at your reader, we call that schmacting in the acting world, y'all. Schmacting. If you want to do that, go ahead. But the group is so amazing because it is full of generous actors like Tammy T, like Zuli. I'm sure there's probably someone else out there who help each other rehearse and self-tape for free. Come on now, for free. If you ain't in that group, you ain't in that. I want to give the microphone back because I know there's a lot of other speakers, but I want to again say thank you, Kendall, for this. Thank you for helping actors elevate themselves. I'm so proud of you, and I'm so grateful to be a part of all of this, and thank you all for listening to my dumbass talk.
Oh, they've been taking.
A glitch in the matrix, a little glitch. Do it this way. From the start.
1, 2.
Thank you so much. Yes, what's your question?
Is the group like a Facebook group?
It's a Facebook
Yes,
group. Sorry, yes,
Facebook.
Facebook. Rehearsal and self-tape partners for actors. Yes,
This
please.
is big. This is huge, guys.
Dr. Rance?
This is so big. So I got on the rehearsal right at the beginning. And one day I needed a reader. Tony Jones comes to read for me. At the time, he had not restarted his career. He had taken a break. So I'm like giving him advice. No, the man is already an actor. But 6 months down the road, I see him booking movies. I just reach out to him to congratulate him on New Year's Eve. He read for me once. From that congratulations on New Year's Day this year, since then I've booked 9 projects because I met him on the app.
Amazing. I know. You guys have to definitely join the group and download the app. You can actually you can come on over here, Dr. Man. So I want to welcome Dr. Lance to the stage. He is one of my mentors, an amazing, amazing force in this industry. He has helped a lot of people with their mindset. He's helped a lot of people, so many different organizations with different philanthropy, and he's done so many great things along with booking a national commercial, and he's in everything. It's so many different businesses I can't keep up. But today he's going to be talking about financing your film, your own projects, and I think that's so important for actors because a lot of us are just waiting on the phone to ring when you can actually activate the ring by creating your own content and making sure that you have a plan, even if it's just for a short or something 1 minute. It doesn't matter. You can circulate that in different film festivals and really put yourself out there. So, Dr. Lance, thank you so much. Thank you for always supporting me and always being such a great friend and such a great person in my life. And thank you for being here.
Great. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
The brother who just eloquently talked about his app saying that Black men has done something. Anytime I'm in front of an African American or people of color, I have to share the history of Black business because when you know your DNA is connected to that, it allows you to move forward. So first of all, if you haven't heard, please Google Dr. Juliet Walker, who created the Center of Entrepreneurship and Black Entrepreneurship in the University of Texas, Austin. She's written an encyclopedia that goes back to 1777, where we actually had to buy our freedom. And her great-grandfather, Free Frank, paid for 13 families out of slavery. So we need to know our history because we have the DNA of that perspective. And then also, Jeremiah Hamilton, which is the first Black millionaire on Wall Street in 1864. The brother had so much swag, he sent you caviar and champagne when he did the deal. Vanderbilts didn't like him, but they respected him. So you have a history of entrepreneurship, a history of success, a history of millions. So as an economist, and if you look at my TED Talk, I call myself a nerd with swag. I'm always doing numbers. So the industry of film is $75 billion. We have to understand the impact of that number. And then when you look at the local LA market, we have 100 film festivals. So you as actors, potential actors, directors, and producers, you need to make sure that you attend those festivals because it's a great networking mechanism. Matter of fact, my daughter and I went to the downtown LA Film Festival, and that's how we connected with one of our film financiers. So as an economist, I look at the money in anything, in any industry as well. So those three areas of funding that I want to talk to you briefly about. It is the $1 million less, up to $1 million, the independent film market. It is the $5 to $10 million market, and then it's the over $10 million market. So three different areas if you're looking for financing for your project. Now, when you look at the independents, one of the easiest ways that we get funding is the horror and the action area. Why is that? Because if you're able to sell foreign distribution, you're able to get the funding. So action films as well as drama, action and horror allows us to move the agenda forward. Some of my partners in this industry is Jared, who is the former president of Lionsgate. He sold 44 films last year. He's selling 80 this year. A sister by the name of Sylvia, who does independence. She does over 100 independent films in the marketplace. Again, that's under $1 million. And then ironically, how the universe happens, I get a call last week from a gentleman who's saying, Doc, I have 2 new film funds, both at $100 million, and we're looking for strong packaged films and strong packages. You have a concept, but you still have a package, right? So we're looking for that. So money is out here. We're looking for great content, great films in order to move forward. On a personal level, on the front of the scene, as Kendall said, I booked last year with Janelle Monáe for the national Martell commercial under the brand Dr. Silver Fox. So I'm a creative cat. Also, has happened recently. Again, we haven't made the announcement yet, but I can make the announcement. I just signed on as executive director for the Les Brown store. So we're going to be doing documentaries on the great figure from that perspective. Then in February, right before the Kardashians, we have the new Kardashians, and I can't give you the name yet, but there are 10 sisters from Afghanistan, and they're all doctors and lawyers. So we have a contact to do that, as well as do the licensing from that perspective. So I'm really diving deep into this entertainment space. But again, I started from the financing side, and so you as actors, directors, producers, you have to be able to get those relationships. It's all about relationships. I mean, the content is great, the acting is great, but how do you get those contacts and relationships? And again, at these film festivals is great. So when you're the executive producer, when you have the money, you can pick who you want to pick, right? And so having those relationships and contacting the people, allows it to move forward. So we're just very excited about how we can penetrate this entertainment industry, particularly from the African American perspective. We need on all levels, not only producing, directing, acting, but again, this money side. And the other area of money is international funds. We have now partnered with the Global Forum, which is 14 different countries, and they love American culture. From an economic perspective, I attend the Milken Institute every year, which is the top 3 economists in the country. And how I got inspired to write my book, Wall Street to the Hood, was that I was listening to Mike Milken, and he said 2 things. If we lose all the manufacturing in this country, we still will manufacture the #1 export, which is content. And who makes the content? We do. But we never owned it. How do you own it, right? And so we need to own our content. And I love what you're doing, brother, because, the pimp game is over. Own your content. Be able to leverage what you own in music, in entertainment, and whatever. You don't have to take that first deal because you feel it's the first time getting into the game. Understand your value. You don't get in life what you deserve. You get what you negotiate. And you negotiate based on your value. And we have to have more forums like this to encourage each other. Don't take that pimp game. Be able to have infrastructure, distribution, etc., and encourage each other to do that. Because if you are creating the content, you are the master. And in art, so many times we get played. Well, you listen to 5% of booking fee or whatever, own the whole game. People say, teach the man to fish, he'll eat forever. I say, own the damn fish pond. If you look at the consumer perspective of African Americans, 40% of the movies are watched by us, right? And so we're going around doing marketing for movies, etc., but we don't own the game because we feel that, I just got to get in. No, I believe with all the talent in this network, that we can be more gangster, for real. I mean, let's be honest. And a couple of friends came to the church with them, and I have to talk about this. I'm a faith-based economist. I've been doing church economics for 25 years. And so Thursday night was the first time ever we were able to do the first church business service. And how did that come up with? Because we got so much talent on the pews, we've never asked each other what the talents are. So too many times we come into a room, we're not sharing who we are, what we do, to be able to leverage that. So I am very, very excited about that piece because we're going to be able to take this platform across the country and be able to do faith-based films, but also be able to put God and business together. I say, come and get Jesus in the bag. You have to be this, you have to be a dichotomy. And we just got too much talent that we come to church on Sunday, 1,000 people come on Sunday, we go 1,000 churches on Monday. Can you imagine we put all this talent in an agenda and a plan and moving forward? I definitely believe in God of miracles, but God of miracles on top of a plan. When we got a plan, we can make it happen. So again, I'm faith-based, so I gotta share this piece. So I tell people, I ask 3 questions to Pastor. Can I just share real quick? So when I do my workshops in reference to religion, the first question, if all your members were millionaires, would your sermon be different on Sunday morning? Second question, Catholic Church, $150 billion a year. The Mormon Church, $56 billion. Business is part of their doctrine. The Jewish community, 2% of the population, but controls billions. My question to the Black church: do we serve a different God? Lastly, have you created a 100-year plan? If we're truly preparing for third generation, how we can plan that 100-year plan? It can be adjusted. And then lastly, have you done an assessment of who's on the pews? We got talents here, right? How do we assess those talents and be able to make an infrastructure? So tying up all into entertainment, because entertainment is the vehicle that influences the world, we should be able to take our talent and tell these great stories, but own. We can't be pimped anymore. Say the African American culture is 1.7 trillion a year. So how do we get that return? Is look at those economics and look at those sectors, and entertainment is one of the top sectors. And so we have brothers and sisters in the entertainment game making paper. They're not leveraging it over to ownership. I got 6 degrees. I never had a class on freedom. I'm not going to teach you to be free. And so being free, be able to create these stories and share the information is going to be influential. And not just, blacks. I say let's move from FUBU to FABU. We're all bios. We can sell to the world but still be black owned. Understand this economic game. And again, entertainment is a major factor. So I'm just very happy to work with my great friend Kendall. And I always tell her, she's got so many talents. She can sing and act and all that stuff. And so you got to encourage her to keep doing it. Because I call her and say, sweetheart, let's have lunch because I know how you're doing an event. There's a lot of things behind. She gave you encouragement. That's what I do. My daughter said I just do too much traditional love. I just go around and get God and stay. But hey, I told God, go down my board, man. I said, God, I'll be economic Moses. I'll even touch the Hebrew and touch the dirt. But I'm a palace kind of guy. I got a lifestyle. I ain't lying. I love it. Just being real. So we can make paper in this industry. We got so many great talents I see around here. My church members back there too. And so how do we move this agenda forward? It is very important that we create an economic development platform to own it. And we can take the model from the Jewish community. The Jewish community said we're going to focus on entertainment. They came in and built an infrastructure and made billions, trillions. And we can do the same thing because we have created everything since civilization. And nothing, it's just a great time to be black, I'm telling you. With the bros of leisure and there's so many different things we're talking about. Understand, I'm very fortunate too. One announcement: I just became the economic advisor for the Dubu coin, which is the only cryptocurrency on the whole continent of Africa. And so we're very excited about that too. So it's a lot of different things that are happening. We've got so much talent. Period. We want to create civilization, right? We were chosen. And I love that shirt, brother. I love that. Y'all see the shirt, Billion Black Billionaires?
Yeah.
I tell people the key to making money for every poor friend, you gotta get 2 rich friends. Do the math. The conversation different. I ask God to give me billionaires. I got 7 on my phone. Not bragging. I can call them up because they respect. You know how I got them? Because I gave them the war. No matter how much money you got, you still be recognized. And so when you're recognized by our peers and share and then you go, we'll make this forward. And then shout out to Miss Success who helps Kendall all the time with everything. So you are not here by accident. It comes down to the money again. Show me the money. How do we leverage money? There's ways of getting funding for your films, both from the debt and equity side, both from distribution globally. And so I'm here to help any way I can. I like making money and helping people, right? It's called social entrepreneurship, doing good and doing well. Not to be a visionary responsibility to do that. And we can move the agenda forward. Thank you.
Do y'all have any questions before we move on?
I got a quick question. What was that cryptocurrency?
A Dubu coin.
Dubu.
A Dubu.
Oh, Dubu.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Matter of fact, not only the only one in the continent of Africa, we just cut a deal that will be all in all dollar stores around the country.
Yay.
I think I got that logo. I
Yes.
can drop it.
Yeah, you can drop it.
Where can we find you or keep up with you at?
Dr. Silver Fox 2X7. That's my IG. Dr. Silver Fox 2X the number 7. And my book is called Wall Street to the Hood. You can get it on Amazon. It is a blueprint to give you information on how to rebuild this country with a black agenda.
I'm sorry, what's that?
Pardon?
Wall Street.
Wall Street to the Hood.
Dr. Silver.
Dr. Silver Fox 2X's with a 7 at the end. For those brothers who know alpha by alpha. Yes.
Question. How I've heard this term like bolt-on technology, and I love how you said we can't be pimping ourselves out anymore. So do you have a tech space that you are already in process so you can represent in the technology Silicon Valley, where it be Dr. Land Silicon Valley?
Yeah, well,
anything in the works in that?
Yes, a good question. Well, I do a lot in the tech space. Actually, y'all can go to my TED Talk. It's called African American Technology, and I talk about myself being nerd and swag. And I say in the TED Talk that there's new technology being developed every 30 minutes. You go to school now, everything you learn in 4 years is obsolete. So how do you stay ahead of the trend and be able to do that? Entertainment is one area. So again, technology has changed the level field for everybody, particularly those of African or minority percent. And so yes, we'll continue to move forward on technology with the whole movie and entertainment space. But tech is it. You know, I'm a nerd with swag. I love tech. Tech creates the capital. One quick story. I have a mentee by the name of Jalen Bledsoe. And Jalen comes to the microphone and says, I'm 17 years old. I'm the same age my parents were really happy. However, I got 120 subcontractors, $3 million in revenue. And if you look on my page, I'm a paid nerd. So we have to make, tech and nerd sexy, right? One other quick story. We just created a new platform called Solvent. Solvent is for ex-felons in financing, mortgaging, and banking. We're very excited about that. My partner's named Divine. Divine was an ex-drug dealer rapper. And now we have the first fintech, particularly for ex-felons, and be able to help them get funding, mortgage, business loans, et cetera. And have
Thank you so much, Dr. Lance.
Thank you.
Y'all give him another round of applause. Woo.
You got any information too? Stand up, daughter.
Yes. Hi, everyone. I'm Bethany Dukes. I'm Dr. Lynn's daughter. If you need to reach him or any information, just please come and see me. I will definitely provide that. And thank you so much for having us, and thank you so much for allowing him to speak.
Thank you. Y'all taking in all the great tea so far? Yes. It's so much more. I mean, so much more. Okay. Look. So we're going to, where are we on time?
It's 11:30. Yep, 11:30.
11:30? Okay. Come on up. Come on Thank you so much for coming with Carlo. He has a show right now on NBC called Harlem Globetrotters.
Play it forward.
Yeah, play it forward.
Yeah.
And Carlo has been executive producing for a long time. I actually met Carlo pitching him a show. Yeah, here we are. I literally have learned so much from you over the years, just with filmmaking, with my mindset, so many great connections I've formed with you. What advice could you give actors that you have gained from being on set and just seeing like the actors that you end up going with for your projects? What qualities do they have that could help the audience, become a better version of themselves and a better actor?
Well, it's interesting because I was just listening to everybody talk, and the one thing that just kept coming to my mind is the game is different now than it was even 5 years ago. And two particular stories popped into my mind. One is something I just heard like on a radio, and the other one is something I experienced when we were doing family time. Because a lot of times people see people, maybe they're the star of the series, or they're series regular, right? Or they're a working actor, right? So what I think it takes is consistency and value. And what I mean by that is, I think gone are the days of where a lot of people say quality over quantity, right? So they'll be like, oh, I only do, only take certain roles or only do certain things. And what happens, I think, come on in.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Yeah, come on in, don't worry about it. Yeah, just squeeze on in. But I think what I'm getting at is the fact that when we did Family Time, for instance, was a show starring Angel Conwell and Omar Gooding, right? And so in talking to Leah Daniels was our casting director for that. This is before Lee and her started doing a lot of TV stuff, and you know she's always been doing casting different things. So she was working there with me and Bentley Evans doing some casting for some sitcoms. And what she told me was she really wanted us to. Well, she told me specifically because they started the show before I got there. She really wanted Angel to meet Bentley, right? And she really wanted her to audition for this role. And she even went as far to say, Bentley, I think you should really pay attention to this one, right? And she put a lot of extras on a few things. One, Angel's gonna show up and do the work, right? And I know this because every time I've had an audition, she always killed it. So I really want you to understand what I'm saying by that. Angel didn't get the role because she killed the audition that day. She got the role because she had been killing auditions for 7 years and had built a relationship to where that casting director trusted her work ethic enough to tell the director, you should really pay attention to this one. And she did 8 seasons as the star of that show. And so I think that in this entertainment business, one of the biggest misnomers is that you just need one hit, right? Or, man, if I just get this one off, especially when we have an idea that we love. We fall in love with our idea, we like, no, this is the one. And we put a lot of energy into that one idea, that one audition, that one opportunity being the thing. And instead of just being consistent, right? And just being like, I'm gonna kill it every day, all the time. And people will start to notice, right? And it's just a mindset on that front. But like, what I meant by it being different, so I was listening, I don't know if anybody heard of this rapper named La Russell? All right, y'all should check him out. You know about him, from the Bay. His whole movement is just different. And he's like literally talking about how he went from 3,000 followers, like I think he's up to almost 1 million now in the last 12 months. And he said exactly what he switched. Like what did he do different this year than he did last year? One, he put out 15 albums this year. Wow. He said you can't do that on a major league. They wouldn't let me do that. He said, but one of these gonna hit. Now literally, of his 15 albums, I consider myself a fan. I maybe heard 10 songs, but I follow and share all this stuff. I stream a couple of the songs of my favorite songs. And those 15 albums, everybody here might have different favorite records, right? But he's like, it's just different now. You know, rappers would never do that before, right? This brother went on Sway in the Morning and did a freestyle and was like, normally they just do the freestyle, put up on YouTube. He's like, nah, we're monetizing this. We all own this. All of us have a share in it. This verse there would be in my ass after this freestyle. Make sure you do it to a beat that I can clear, that I can own, right? And he didn't give away his freestyle. He's like, no freestyles over here. I'm gonna rap on your show. Then we're gonna put this on iTunes. I'm gonna stream it. That's my 20th single this year, right? And so I share all that to say that we have to be wise with how to spend our time and actually know what we hope the fruit of that labor will be and be consistent with it. So every audition you go on to, every event you go, like when I go to an event, like the brother said earlier, go to the film festivals, I don't leave until I make 3 new contacts that I'm satisfied with.
Can we do something right now with that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, make 3 new contacts.
Right now.
Yeah, right now. So after this segment of him speaking, I want you all, we're gonna actually get on our feet. This isn't just a take notes, feel good weekend. This is, like I said, an implementation, action oriented weekend. I want you all to leave feeling different. I want you all to leave feeling elevated and knowing new people. This is a relationship based type of industry, right? You're a relationship away. Relationship away. So yeah, let's do that after your segment.
No doubt. I mean, that's basically all the main thing on my mind based on your question. Like, what is my main advice? Is be consistent, create a volume of work, right? Because not everything you do, like, and the other thing too is get feedback on what you're good at. Because I do know a lot of actors are attached to being a certain type of actor, are doing certain types of roles, or fill in the blank what that thing is for you. I'm good at this, I'm not good at that, right? But trust the feedback you get. Because there are some, like, one of my favorite comedians is successfully acting on Euphoria right now as Zendaya's mom, right? Not a role that she would have thought for herself because she's been a stand-up for so long, right? But turns out she's a great dramatic actress, you know? And so I just make sure you are, until you are so popular at doing something like this, Sam Jackson or something like that, where it's like they pay me a lot to do this one thing. You don't do a one thing yet. You do everything, right? until all your money come from doing that one thing, you do everything, and you make yourself available for those opportunities because you never know where your opportunities are going to come. Like for me, for instance, like she was saying, I produce a lot of shows, but I started as a director. I only thought I was going to be a director at the blind spots on. I didn't understand the whole business. As I started learning about the business and different jobs, I actually made more money editing than I ever made directing. Right? I'll even as an editor, I've outpaced executive producers on the same show that we're working on together, right? Because there are so many different roles. There's so much to this business. Like acting, right, may be your entree to starting something even bigger, right? So just keep your eye open to all opportunities and don't assume because it doesn't say actor on it, it's not for you. Or don't assume because it doesn't say the kind of role you're looking for that it's not for you. If it's in your face, it's an opportunity to either say yes or no, right? And so, or you can say yes and, right? You can do whatever you want to do with it, so just take it on as that.
Where can everyone follow you and support what you have going on?
Oh yeah, so you can follow me personally at Ricardo at RIKAARLO. It's my first name and everything. But also we
spell that one more time for us, please.
Yeah, RIKAARLO.
Thank you.
Yeah, like Ricardo, but with an LO. But I think the other thing too is we have the Handy Foundation, which is my nonprofit that we founded 2 years ago, specifically initially to train assistant editors, but stay tapped in because we're doing a couple of different things starting in 2023, specifically a writer's assistant program where we're getting people jobs as writer's assistants in the room, hair and makeup program, doing glam squad training, so they'll be like a glam squad assistant. We're doing a couple of those technical roles, and I want to encourage you all, especially if you're auditioning but you have not yet to be kind of consistently on set, and that's another place to network. One of the last things I'll share, I have a friend, Ebony, who I think she's on that show, Bro. It says it's Tyler Perry show called Brothers or Bruh. Right? Yeah, so she's like a regular on that, right? But I met her as a second AD on Saints and Sinners, one of the shows I produced for Bounce. And I've seen this happen for a few folks that act, right? They work in production and they're also auditioning, right? Now, where that helps you is, one, now you're on set all the time, right? You're on set, you're getting to know the world. One, also your focus is not split because you're working in production either in front of the camera or behind the camera pretty much all the time. So you're all in the same language, but then also you build a ton of relationships. You understand how decision gets made. Like you, as being a second AD specifically, you get to understand how people are getting their roles, right? So even if you don't become a second AD, I would say all of you should be friends with second ADs. Why would I say that? Anybody have any idea why I would say that? Do you know what a second AD, everybody know what a second AD does on set?
Of course. It's basically a second assistant director under the first AD, which everybody says you're never going to meet a first AD that you actually like because they're always directing the business, what's going on set. Second AD does a lot of the in between actors and departments, and first AD will send them out to do things for the production to keep the filming going. I guess that's a general sort of
Yeah, no, but here's why the second AD is actually probably the most important role for both actors now, and I just thought of this now, it's real true. They are the person that deals with all of the talent, shuttling them to and from set. They deal with the schedule, so if someone's not showing up on time, not doing their job, they're sick, right? I had an actor get into a car accident the night before shoot. We had to replace her that morning. Who called? The second AD did. We're like, we need somebody. We don't got no time to audition. We got no time to do. We need somebody to show up in 5 minutes. Oh, my homegirl, I know she'll kill this. You'd be surprised how often stuff like that happens. And so I share that to say one of my biggest rules in this business is to network with everyone. Too often I see people like, oh, what does this person do? What does that person do? It don't matter. Y'all are all here doing the same thing. You don't know who somebody gonna be 10 years from now, and I can tell you 1,000 stories of people that I've worked for that used to work for me. Right? So, you know, and I think that's one of those roles that you may not think to be like, oh, you know, what'd you do on the show? I was saying that people be like, okay, I guess he wasn't the director. But the director has so many things on their mind, they're not dealing with all the day playing roles. They're not dealing with the person that has one line necessarily. So that's just my it's a bunch of little secrets like that, but the bottom line is look at everything holistically. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Wow. Give
Can
her
we
a
say-
hand.
I'm standing here right now and thinking, why didn't I find you when I first got here? You know, I'd like to share, I had a friend of mine who built houses, and he came to LA from Cleveland. And he said to me, he said, you know, when I started building houses, I wanted to know everything about building houses. He said, why don't you know everything about making movies if you want to make movies? And I remember dropping my head when this man just said, learn everything you can, every stage of the game. That is so powerful. Thank
It's
you.
really important, very important.
Real
You
talk.
from the land too? I'm from the land. Nice to meet you. So thank you so much for coming. Thank you for your mentorship, your friendship, your guidance. I was in a meeting when we had met you for bowling that time, and I was just watching like, wow, how he interacts with his team and just like planning and just like, I'm like, wow, I'm really around some amazing people. Right? This is the same girl that used to be hungry walking down the street trying to figure it out. This is the same girl that came from Cleveland with no clue of where.
When we say that,
And when you say from the land,
I'm talking about
okay, right. Look, so us coming from there and then meeting people like this, you guys, I feel like everything that I've been through has been so a lot of the people that come to my events, a lot of the people that are in my courses do not have to go through. I used to ask God, like, why? Like, what am I doing? Why am I going through all these things, right? What is the struggle for? But now it's so clear to see that the struggle has been for so you don't have to, right? I don't believe in starting an artist. I don't believe in it. You're just information away or a relationship away to the next level of your life. So let's pick it up. Y'all, everybody stand up. Everybody stand up. Thank you, Carla. Yes. So we gonna I want us to network, right? This is not about just taking notes. This is about actually getting on your feet. This is about meeting new people. This is about alignment. And this is about intention, right? So before y'all leave, I'm gonna take a picture with everybody too. But I want you to go around and I want you to meet someone that you've never met before. And one of the key things that I use in networking is collaborate. That's my key word. I would like to see how we can collaborate, right? How can we collaborate? Instead of what can you do for me? It's a different type of energy, right? What can you do for me? Repels people. How can we collaborate? Joins people, right? So we need to always be asking, how can we collaborate? And I want you to ask yourself how you can be the connection that you want to meet. It's not just about meeting great people. It's not. It's not just about that. It's about being the person that you want to meet. If we work on being that every day, we're going to attract great people because that's who we are, right? So know that that's what you deserve. I'm going to take a minute okay? And let's time this, cause whoo, we gotta get chairs for everybody back there. So sorry, we literally are over. But I want to take a minute and I want you to meet someone new and say, how can we collaborate? So nice to meet you. How can we collaborate? I will turn some music on. Let's go. 1 minute.
Feels like speed dating. I always want to put the boy in that one.
Alright, so Casey. Do y'all have a shirt back there? Yes. Alright, y'all, as we settle down and get back to our seats, did y'all meet somebody new? Okay. That's what this is about. That's what this is about. You never know who you're gonna meet. So, oh my gosh, this is my girl. Casey, everybody give it up for Casey. So let me tell y'all how I made Casey. Let's get them some chairs back there. I knew it was gonna be it. All right, y'all have this. Is there some more chairs that are been brought up? Okay, cool.
Sit down.
Yeah, y'all can. All right. So if we have all of these tools and resources and we don't have our health, it really means nothing, right? So many of us have so many great connections, relationships, we're doing great things in our business, but we want to talk about health today. Mental health, we want to talk about your physical health, your nutrition. It's really important because I know so many people, and some of them are successful, but they're sick. And that's not really successful to me. I mean, it's kind of like, you have all this money, but where's your health? So I actually joined Equinox Gym, and I met this beauty. And I take her class on Friday, and she sees me in such a vulnerable space. Her class is so inspirational, so motivational, and what I really connected to with it is, yes, we're working out, we're really getting in the flow of everything, but it's a mindset thing when it comes to our health, right? And we have to use our mind for our business as an actor. If we don't have our health and we don't have our mind, a lot of things get thrown out of alignment. So I want to talk to you a bit about how to keep a healthy mindset, how to, create a routine for your health, your working out, how you transform your body, how you transform others' bodies, and how they can continue to stay, live a healthy and strong, advancing life.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
I think the most important thing to touch on here, especially because we are talking about performers, is the relationship that you build with yourself through the process of health and wellness, right? There's all of this, it's such a popular topic right now, and people focus on it a lot for outside reasons, but nothing gives you the confidence that relationship with yourself will give you. So I think that is the thing that I like to really focus on with anyone and everyone who walks through my group fitness doors. I also do personal training. Anybody who asks me for my help, I try to take the focus away from the physical and start here. Because ultimately, when you guys walk into auditions, when you guys walk into any kind of scenario where you have to present your best self, put your best foot forward, you need to know that you have that unshakable faith in yourself to do what is right for you, to do what is best for you. And so that really does start with, what we call a fitness journey. It really starts with you making a decision to make a change, whether that means gaining weight, losing weight, improving your mobility, dealing with some pain management that you might have. Whatever you decide to do, you make that decision, and then a lot of the time, we get burnt out, we get overwhelmed, we fail to rise to the agreement that we made with ourselves. And so I think that the importance of it is really, it starts there. It really starts with how you approach the commitment that you made to yourself. And that becomes stronger and that's why everyone's always saying consistency is key, because it becomes stronger every time you decide to go when you don't feel like it. Every time you decide to eat that meal when you don't feel like it. Every time you decide to parent yourself, you build that relationship with yourself, and that's something that's unshakable. Nobody can take that away from you. So when you walk into the doors in front of a director, or when you feel nervous about an audition, or when you feel like maybe you're just not your best self that day, you can go within and you can hit the weights, you can go to a dance class, you can cook yourself a good meal. All of those things are forms of really repairing the relationship that you have with yourself. So I hope that kind of answers your question. It starts there.
So what are some things that people can do to start to form that better relationship with themselves? Some things that have helped you and helped your clients?
I think the first thing is to decide on a goal. And then obviously goals oftentimes do start on the outside, but once you've decided on that goal, make that commitment and then make a plan. Without a plan, if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. Honestly and truly, that is it time and time again, it's proven itself to me. I see it in so many people. If you think you're just gonna wing it, it's not gonna work out. And to be really honest, it starts with food and the way that we take care of ourselves in that sense. It starts in our home, in our kitchen. It's between you and you. And I always tell people to kind of look at how you would treat a child. You would never send a child out to school without giving them breakfast first. You would never send a child to school without lunch in their hand or without some kind of plan for lunch, right? So why are we doing that to ourselves as adults? A lot of the time we run out of the house, we figure we'll eat when we're hungry. We never really get around to it. We're not parenting ourselves the way that we would parent a child. And I think that is, again, going back to how we treat ourselves, and that is kind of where you really start that bond with you. And so food, it's such a popular topic right now, you know, especially since COVID kind of blew up the fitness industry, and now you see everyone talking about it on all social media platforms. But I try to shy away from doing it because it's popular. I really try to help people realize that the more you do these things, there's a reason there's hype around it. There's a reason that people are swearing by it, because it really does start to cure you from the inside out. Food is medicine, nutrition is medicine, and it can cure so many ailments and so many issues that you may have with your gut, with anything that may be hindering you, constant headaches, feeling groggy, feeling tired. You have control over how you fuel your body. And it's really, it starts there, because we only work out maybe once a day, if that. We eat, 2, 3, 4 times a day. So your nutrition is where it starts, because that will always cancel out. You can go as hard as you want to in the gym, but there's still 3 times more meals in your day than there are workouts.
Could you talk about the app yet, or is that?
Yeah.
Okay. So she has created this app. I want her to go into it because it's phenomenal.
Yeah, so it's been 2 years in the making. It started during COVID, and developing an app obviously takes some time. So here we are. We are about ready to launch it. We're just finishing up with the final stages of development. And essentially what I wanted to create was, I wanted to create something that eliminated all excuses to skip your workout. So a lot of the time, I don't know if any of you have ever hired a personal trainer before, but a lot of the time when you have a trainer, there's a lot of back and forth. Can you do this time? No, I can't. Can you do this time? No, I can't. Oh, I gotta move back 15 minutes. Oh, I can't accommodate that. I have a client right after you. There's a lot of back and forth, and so a lot of the time when the trainer that you love and that you usually work with, who knows your program, who knows your body, is not available, it's usually used as an excuse to skip the workout altogether. Oh, okay, we'll work out tomorrow then. So eliminating those excuses. So we're basically creating a platform that's going to allow you to pick out any trainer from all over the world on demand. It'll be a virtual session, so you'll basically be FaceTiming with that person. And the way that you are able to work with any trainer anywhere, anytime, is you're essentially, think of telehealth. You're going to be having this sort of fitness medical chart that follows you around. So if you worked out with Jesse in Australia yesterday, at the end of your workout, Jesse has to fill in everything that you guys did that day before he can get paid. So and that'll be added to your essential medical chart. And so if the next day Jesse's not available, even though you liked him, you see that Casey's available and you work out with me, I'll be able to look back and say, hey, how's it going? I see you have a little bit of shoulder impingement. I see that we're working on gaining some muscle mass. I can see what you've been working with in terms of weights and movements. Let's just pick up where you left off. So very stoked about it, and we're hoping it'll be a worldwide thing soon. And it really solves a lot of problems for trainers too, because trainers notoriously have gaps in their schedules that they could be making money during those times, but they struggle to fill those gaps in. So it'll be kind of helping both types of people, both parties.
Where can they follow you and get more information?
So I am on Instagram, real_deal_Holyfield. It is my God-given name, so I decided to use it for my Instagram. And then our app is called Connect Fit, but it is spelled KNKT. I am Casey with a K. My business partner is Nathan, so KNKT is how we decided to spell it, but it's pronounced Connect Fit. And you can find both of those on Instagram. And I have business cards too, if you guys want to come talk to me after.
A lot of us negate our health and think that, oh, we can just grind, work, and we don't realize that we only get one body, and we only get one mind, and we only get one soul. So we have to take care of ourselves and love on ourselves in the way that we want others to love us and receive us. So that's why I thought it was so important. I mean, like, why would you bring a fitness person here? Because if you have someone that, think about it, what are we without our health? You can have $1 billion if you're, if you're sick, if you're unhealthy, if you don't have a plan for your strategy to better your health, then it's just not a full round of success. So I want us all to be whole in success.
And that trust that you got you feeling.
Yes, and it starts with the relationship with ourselves. Like she was saying, if we don't have a really good relationship with ourselves, we're not working on it, how can we really form characters? How can we form these different people in us that are a part of us as actors? We're so kooky. Like, how can we do this if we don't even have that foundational relationship within? And it really starts with how we treat ourselves every day. I have to catch, we all have to catch our thoughts. What are we thinking about? Thoughts become things, and we have to really train our mind for success. So that's a way to introduce one of the next people coming up. But thank you so much, Casey. All right. Y'all, what time are we at? 12:16. Okay. All right. So the next person that I want to have come up, this girl right here, my sister from another mister, my dog, my confidant. Wow. I do not believe this event would be like this if it was not for her. A lot of people want to just take the credit for everything. It's all about me. And what I realize is that when you have real people in your corner, let's be quiet back there. We gonna keep it going here. When we have real people in our corner, we have to acknowledge them, not just behind closed doors, but publicly. Right? A lot of us have people that are there for us, that love on us, that give us support, and we just keep them in secret. And I don't believe in that. So I want to bring my good friend, my dog, up to the stage, Success Monday. So, with her, we're going to talk about money. We're going to talk about different strategies that you can have as side hustles, as you're, we're all investors in our careers, right? This costs money. Like, you have to make sure that you're continuing to produce and you're continuing to, look at your different things that you have in your space that you can elevate from, that you can capitalize off of. And this is the queen of capitalization, right? She will take something and turn it into a business. She will take someone, turn them into a business. Literally, this is one of the few people that helped me with this. And I just, I really just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you because, you get a real friend. You get a real friend. Like, a lot of people talk about it. Oh, yeah, I got your back. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But when you get a real friend, hold on to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's real.
Okay. It's the actor in me. I'm emotional. But yeah, let's tap in. We tapping in. Okay. So let's talk about ways that they can generate capital, ways that they can strategically, start to use the internet to generate capital, use the resources to generate capital to help them with their career.
Well, of course, my favorite topic. Hello, everyone. Like Kendall said, my name is Success Goddess Money, and I want to start from there. I legally changed my name in 2008, and it all started with a revelation of what are we saying every day? Like, you hear people saying they're broke. I ain't got it. I ain't this. I instantly started doing more affirmations. I watched The Secret. I don't know if any of you guys ever seen The Secret. Yeah, so it started from there because it starts in your mind. And I've been in real estate for 17 years. I started real estate very young in finance as well. So I figured what was going to be the most expensive thing I was going to buy, and I wanted to get a deal. So that's what determined what I started to study in college. And so I was doing real estate, but I said, I can make this a business too. I don't want to just sell real estate or buy one house, So I started doing business administration, helping people start their business and buy houses. The first question is always, what can you afford? And then it's like, when you look at houses, you really want that big, nice house. And you're like, I can't afford that. So I would tell my clients, you need more income. We need to figure out how you're going to make some more money so you can afford this house. And I'm like, what do you like doing? What are you good at? What's easy for you? For me, helping people figure that out. So Success Money Strategic Solutions was like one of my first corporations. And I'm like, I'm going to help you figure out how to make more money. And I would come up with so many ideas. I stay with ideas, y'all. So hit me up. Yes. We can look at this board for some of these ideas. So the Creative Collective, I love giving back, and business administration is just an easy knack for me, but I've evolved to producing events and producing TV and radio and just connecting people. A lot of people look for a dollar amount and they don't realize that relationships are the real wealth. Mm-hmm. I've known Kendall for so long, and now she's teaching me how to act. I didn't go to school for that. I mean, I did it early, but it's like, okay, we can all come together and help each other, and that's really where the wealth is. Mm-hmm. And you can pay all this money in college and not know how to run a business once you've gotten that degree. So side hustles are actual streams of income, you guys. I mean, Airbnb exists for what reason? People have couches, spaces, blow-up beds. You never know who is sleeping out on the street that really don't have to be, that you could be making a profit and saving somebody's life at the same time. So we're just going to put that one out there. Turo. I purchased a car for my daughter. She's in here somewhere, probably in the mirror back. But if you don't have that car note, I'm about to rent this car out. Another stream of income. I realized it was paying for the car 3 times. Let me get a couple more cars. So now, if you have a dollar amount that you need to make a month, you start there. Like, how do I wanna live comfortably? Everybody has their own number. Anybody wanna share their number? Cause it's funny, my number changed. When you first start out, some people say $10,000, right? Like, living in LA, you think that's a lot of money, that ain't nothing out here. But if you go somewhere else, you know, you're like, you're rich, but like, no. I get around some millionaires, billionaires, it's like, if you're not making $100,000 a month success, I was like, okay, I was thinking $100,000 a month. I was like a year, and then I look back, you made $100,000 this year. You didn't even realize you make this money. If you're not tracking your money, which how many of you check your bank account? You actually collect your receipts and see where your money went through the week, because you actually have probably made that dollar amount that you're thinking about, but you don't even realize you spent it somewhere. You know, so cutting off all these things that are just taken out of your bank account that you're not utilizing, and making sure you're putting your focus and interest in things that are gonna bring money back to you. Like you're investing in yourself, like coming here, this is an investment. That's one way to encourage to bring in more wealth. Because once you got the knowledge, no one can take that from you, and you can go out there and triple yourself. You know what I'm saying? Triple yourself.
I love it. So Turo, Airbnb, renting out a space in your place. There's so many different ways to generate capital, especially with this thing we have called the internet, right? I think that a lot of us, you know, we don't realize the power of social media. We don't realize the power of really having a plan for our social media, except not just, okay, I'm gonna post some pretty pictures today. You know, like how do you wanna monetize your social media? Our business page posts like 2 to 3 times a day. Like we are always adding value, always posting. So some people in this room have been seeing our posts, and that's why they're here, right? I think that a lot of us have to just come up with a plan, an actual financial plan, have an aim, just like we do with our career, because our career needs funds. You need, like, headshots are not free. Demo reels are not free. Websites are not free. We have to make sure that we're consistently seeing how we can invest in ourselves and consistently being an asset to others. Because a lot of us, you know, we have intellectual property that we could put on autopilot. There's something that some of you know in this room that you can actually capitalize off of and not have to tend to every single day. There's a piece of your intellectual property that you may have. There's something maybe that you could teach, or a skill that you have that you may think is normal to you, but it's not normal to everybody else.
You really need to look at yourself as a business. Your name should be a .com, but you should even go further. Your LLC should be your name, or whatever your brand is, because then you can start building business credit and get the funding you need to pay the team. Because you really need a team. This is not a solopreneur type of thing. If you're starting out alone, but have the plan and the goal to say, how much would a social media manager cost me? How much would a graphic artist cost me? Because do you know how to make your own flyers? Are you gonna take your own pictures? Are you gonna design your own website? Are you gonna be in the DMs every day while you're on set and everything? No, you have to really determine, how many people do I need to be a part of my team? How much is that gonna cost me? And I'm telling you, budgets are the key. I call them spending plans, because I don't really like plans. It's like, this is where I'm planning to spend my money. I'm gonna hire this person, I'm gonna hire that person, because these are the people I need to make my business merun.com.
Absolutely. So I want you all to just think about that as you create your overall wealth plan this weekend. I want you to think about the type of things that you could start to utilize within yourself, your gifts, your talents, something that you can, because what we all need to do is just package and promote, right? We need to package whatever that thing is that you have that maybe you're overlooking, or that skill or that connection. Some of us have somebody in our phone right now, I'm talking to somebody in here, in our phone right now that we're not even properly collaborating with, that we're not properly utilizing. I want you all to think of every single connection you've made and start to categorize it and put it in a email. Like, all of us should have you know, an email list of people that we meet. We need to be letting them know what we have going on. We need to be staying in touch. We need to touch people through the digital space. It's really important. So where can people follow my girl? I know you're on Instagram, but I'll let you say it.
Of course, I am Success Money, but we need to support each other, you guys. You have to. It's okay to like, share, and push out somebody else's stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna charge you or kill you. Some other people may really thank you for. I love connecting people because you never know. Like this person with that person may change this person's life. So
And it reciprocates, right? What we put out, we get back. If you're so afraid to like, oh my God, I can't share this. This person is gonna blow up. Like, calm down. Like literally, I learned so much doing this event. Like some people, I was like, wow, I got to really see some true colors. Like when you're really doing something, because it's one thing to talk about it, but when you start to do something, y'all, you get to really see the people around you. And if they really rock with you or if they don't, right? Because people don't believe you gonna do something. Oh, she just talking. She ain't going on summit. Oh, we not. Right. We are, right? And it's like you have to always make sure that you give out. That's why I always share people's stuff. Your blessing can't be my blessing. I don't want your blessing. I got my own. You shouldn't want someone else's blessing. You shouldn't be afraid to support somebody else, right? Because what you give out, you get back. Some people are so afraid for someone else to win for their own insecurities, right? Don't be that person. I got support back from this event because I give so much. I give support. I love supporting people. I don't have no problem. So really look at your mindset. A lot of our limitations are in our mindset. And we have to just look within to see why we're producing certain things on the outer. It comes from within. So follow my girl. I am Success Money. Thank you for co-producing this event with me.
Check out the live stream we got going on the replay so that, you know, we can definitely keep this going.
Absolutely. Thank you, girl. I love you. Oh. Ladies, you already know how important you have a female friend to support you. Because, whoa. Shut up. People hate it. Like, men, women, like, literally, if you have a female friend, like, or if you have anybody in your life that really supports you and loves you, love on them, celebrate them, you know, really cherish them. Because I'm telling you, we live in a very different time right now. We're in a generation of self. We're in a generation of also, you know, connecting and collaborating, but you just got to make sure you're on the right side. So I want to bring someone else up. It's a couple more speakers that we have today. What time are we at? 12:30? Okay, so we got 30 minutes. Okay. So I want to bring someone else up. How's everybody liking the information so far? Okay, actually, I want to bring Danny up because Danny, I want someone, because he's an acting coach, and I want you all to get on your feet. Like, this is an entertainment wealth summit, but I want you all to learn some tips from somebody as well that has booked 50 commercials in a few years, that has an acting school, and, you know, can definitely help you with the craft aspect of things, right? So, y'all standing up? Are we going? Yeah. Okay, y'all stand up. Stand up, y'all, stand up. Y'all stand up. So who wants to, okay, first of all, who wants to go ahead and do a scene or a monologue or an audition and get critiqued live in front of everybody? Ooh. Now look, see, this is the thing. This is the thing, y'all. We're not just here to sit and take notes. We're actors, right? We had to be on our feet. That's why I keep telling y'all, get up. Come on, get up. We're not just here to just, you know, dictate to you. I want this to be a collaborative, cooperative experience, right? And this is an acting coach right here that you can get live feedback from. So who wants to go first?
That's somebody in the back.
In the back? Okay. Come on up. Okay, Alan. Come on up. So, okay, first I want to introduce Danny Hinton. He has been around for quite a while. He is called, quote unquote, the commercial king. And today I wanted it to also be about you all getting feedback on your craft. This is all about craft and connections, making sure that you're getting the feedback that you need in order to progress forward and really get to the next level. So what are you going to be performing for us today?
Well, I'm going to be performing the opportunity of blackness.
I have seen it.
Close the door. Whoa! This is amazing. I am so blown away. I haven't seen this many black folks since Rodney King got beat. I had to learn that it takes tragedy to pull us together. It broke my heart, but what made it even worse was when George Floyd got killed. It made it worse. But what I understood about my blackness is that I needed a community where I can connect, where I can breathe, and where I can look to my elders. We have Dr. Lawrence in the audience. Woo! Who's an elder who teaches us wealth. We have Success Money in the audience, where she can teach us about money. But we need somebody to teach us about community and our souls. If we find that, guess what we can do? We can create a new movement for the next generation. That's what I love about our blackness. Thank you.
Was that prepared or was that freestyle?
Right. Freestyle. We have my community's here, and they will attest to how freestyle we do when we're out.
I like it because for me, all you have to do is have a level of commitment of what you're doing, and everybody else will be drawn to you, be magnetized towards you. I liked it. I liked it. I don't have too much to say about it. I would have liked to see a monologue with some depth in it, and some art to it. But I can see you got chops, so that's all important. That's important. Yeah.
Who else wants to go ahead and get some feedback on an audition or a monologue or a scene?
I'll go ahead.
Okay.
Yes, please. I do record.
So what are you going to be doing for us today?
Is anyone familiar with the film V for Vendetta?
Yes.
Yeah, one of my favorites.
Copy that. Format, monologue that it did, there's a lot of words that start with V in it. So, let's see how I can get this out. Voila! In view, a humble vaudevillian veteran cast vicariously as both victim and villain by the vicissitudes of fate. This visage, no mere veneer vanity, is a vestige of a vox populi, now vacant, vanished. However, this valorous visitation of a bygone vexation stands vivified and has vowed to vanquish these penal and virulent vermin, vanguarding vice and vouchsafing the vicious and voracious violation of religion. The only verdict is vengeance, a vendetta, held as a votive, not in vain, for the value and veracity of such that one day vindicate the vigilant and the virtuous. Verily, this vicious wage of verbiage veers most verbose. So, let me simply add that it is my very good honor to meet you, and you may call me V.
Can you do it for me one more time? But not rush so much through the whole thing. And sometimes as actors, we concentrate so much on the words, especially when it's real wordy. Like we don't trust ourselves sometimes to know, all right, I know the words, I just need to be in the scene. You know what I mean? It's a difference because I can see your brain working on remembering the words.
And I'm supposed to have a mask on also.
Yeah, but that shouldn't matter really. You know what I mean? Everybody don't really know what beef or vendetta. No, I haven't seen it. You know what I mean? So they won't know the scene that you're doing. So, and also, can you do it without holding the mic?
Yes.
Take your time.
Voila! In view, a humble vaudevillian varies, cast vicariously as both victim and villain, vicissitudes of fate. This visage, no mere veneer of vanity, is a vestige of a vox populi now vacant, vanished. However, this valorous visitation of a bygone vexation stands vivified, and has vowed to vanquish these venal and virulent vermin, vanguarding vice and vouchsafing the violently vicious and voracious violation of volition. The only verdict is vengeance, a vendetta, held as a votive, not in vain, for the value and veracity of such shall one day vindicate the vigilant and the virtuous. Verily, this vicious swatch of verbiage appears most verbose, so let me simply add that it is my very good honor to meet you, and you may call me B.
Very different from monologue. Oh, yeah, what's your name, bro?
Andre.
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 No, we can take one more.
You know what I've been having lately with my little honey bun in the oven? Dreams. Like, in detail. Like, more vivid than I've ever had before. Big Mama used to say that dreams from a pregnant woman actually were like prophecy. You ever heard that? Well, I don't know if there's any truth to it or whatever, but I've been having these same dreams over and over. Like I'm standing in this big empty space with nothing in it, and there's dust all over the floor. It's covering everything. And there's nobody in the room. And I'm calling out for my mama or one of y'all, but nobody answers. And then the wind starts to move, a tornado, and it blows all the dust around. And when it stops, the dust is arranged in a mix of letters, but it don't spell nothing. It's like a mix of letters that, if I understand the meaning, like maybe I can like understand better, like life, like motherhood. I don't know, just life. Is that silly?
I like best about it. I don't have too much criticism to say about it. I like your transitions from one thought to the next. actually see most people, they just say their lines, and I don't see the thought transition behind that. Like, I actually saw it in her face, I actually saw her thinking about what you were talking about, the letters and what they mean, you know. I think the smoother that you make your transitions from one thought to the next, the more I believe you. You know what I mean? I think it was good.
And after this, we're gonna get to Vince's panel. Thank you so much. This has been great.
Hey.
Notting Hill.
Excuse me?
Notting Hill.
Oh, okay.
The funny thing is, I'm still just a girl in front of a boy. Asking him to love her. Thank you.
But I believed it. I felt like you were that girl.
Thank you.
Yeah. It was short, so I don't have that much to say about it.
What was that from?
That's Notting Hill.
Notting
Hugh
Hill.
Roberts and Hugh Grant.
Okay.
Hugh Grant is I need someone to read with me his part.
Okay, I was like, it seemed like it was interaction.
Yes.
I like it too. I think that when you first started, it was something that I felt from you.
Yeah.
And I think that's what actors, we don't realize that we feel like we gotta move, we gotta do all this stillness,
Mm-hmm.
and you actually having that inner intention and dialogue, it reads through without you saying a word.
Mm-hmm.
Have you noticed in some
Or
scenes?
moving.
Yeah, have you noticed in some scenes, you're paying attention to the person that doesn't even have any lines sometimes? Because everything that they're feeling.
But that's what I tell my
literally-
students too.
Yeah.
Just because the camera is not on you or
Right.
it's not your lines, you're still acting. You're still a part of the scene.
Mm-hmm. And we can feel it. It's something that we can feel. When you're tapped in, tuned in, and turned on, it activates something in us. And I think that's so beautiful. I think it's so beautiful. So I felt that from you.
I just wanted to hear more. I was like, okay, I'm in it now.
Right. Like, left us hanging. Well, thank you so much, Danny, for your I'm so happy to have another producer, actor, model, executive, boss in the building. Vince, I've known for quite some time, has always been exceeding and like going over the limit that he does not have. And I want to get your perspective as an executive actor. You wear a lot of different hats. And I feel like you do things efficiently though. I feel like some people, you know, they wear a lot of hats. And you're like, okay, I can tell they wear a lot of hats. But how do you focus? Like, how do you focus and really, in your directing, in your executive producing, in your modeling, in your acting, what is something that helps you focus and yeah, introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about your story. So happy to have you.
Thank you. I have a loud voice, so I appreciate that. First of all, how's everyone doing today? This is awesome. This is really dope. Yeah, let's give it up for
Yeah.
First of all, I want to say I feel really blessed to be here in y'all presence. When Kendall invited me, I know she creates vibes and just was able to curate just really some of the most amazing people. And so thank you for having me. I'm gonna go on the focus thing, but I just want to give like a real quick thing. So first of all, I'm assuming is everyone in here an actor? Raise your hand. So, brother. Everyone who's an actor, raise your hand high. Are we proud to be actors or not? I just want to double check. Okay, who else here is aspiring or wants to be, even if it's poetry, a writer? A writer? Okay, that's awesome. Love that. What about a director? Love that. What about a producer? Love that. All right. What about anything else? Anything else? Okay, tell me what else. Dancer, comedian. What else? Script supervisor. Yes, sir.
Brand strategist.
Brand strategist. Excellent. Yes, ma'am. Voice actor. Excellent. What else? Yes, ma'am. Singer. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Humanitarian.
Woo! All right. So you see, we're all actors, but we all have all these other gifts that we have. I'm tying it back to the focus. That we all have all these other gifts that are inside of us, and that we aspire to do. You know, and I think one of the things I learned when I came here, I came to Los Angeles. I don't know, I was like 21, 22. And I personally knew I wanted to be a producer. I always knew I wanted to be a producer because if I'm really honest, I like control. If I don't like front on y'all, I like control. I want to control what it is, and not control from like a dictatorial, but I want to have influence. That's a better word to use. I really want to be able to have a strong influence, which in everyone in the filmmaking process has some sort of influence, right? And so I came here. I started. I'll just give it real quick. I had a hard time breaking into producing early on because you really, I mean, it's not like somebody's like, I have no experience, don't know anything. And so my friends were all advising me. Like I had 2 or 3 friends. They're like, you should model on that. You should model on that. You should model on that. And it's not that I didn't want to do it, but I was resistant because, and I admittedly can be hard-headed. I want to be a producer. This is what I want to do. And I had about a year being here in Los Angeles and on someone's couch, not doing anything, you know, not booking anything. And so finally I took my friend's advice. I went and got some pictures and some headshots, and I started booking work as a model and actor. And I will say this, is that when you have an intention inside, whether it is to be an actor or a director or dancer, singer or whatever, like, just know that the path to that is not always going to be how you think. And that's like very common knowledge, but we forget it. I forget it all the time, literally almost every day. I'm like, I want this, and I'm like pounding my head to do it. And I'm like, let me just relax, you know, let me just chill, you know, let me get tapped in, tuned in, turned on, you know, let me connect with God, connect with source, connect with universe, whatever you believe in, connect with source energy, and really find out what is the most, not the fastest path, not the path that's going to make me the most money, although it will, but what is the most fun path? What path, what journey is going to make this amazing? Is going to make it the most enjoyable experience, okay? Because at the end of the day, we want to have an enjoyable experience, you know? And we all know, and I know personally, plenty of models, dancers, actors, producers, directors who are extremely unhappy they're at the top echelons and everything in between.
That's such a good point. That's such a good point.
Yeah, they are not enjoying the journey. That have not enjoyed the journey. They aren't happy where they are right now, and including myself through certain parts of the journey until I reminded myself of that, right? And then so started modeling, acting, and then I had my purpose, my goal. I think it was like my 4th job, it was for this internet show that I was hosting, and the producers. It was pretty cool because we were basically hosting this internet show that was promoting this dancing animation. It was actually a pretty cool concept. It didn't work out, but it was a cool concept. I can't front. And so. The second day I was hosting it and we were doing rehearsals and stuff, the producers like, hey, we can tell you, they basically came up to me like, what do you really want to do? And I was like, I want to produce. I want to do what y'all want to do. And they were like, say no more. So that night we started producing the next show. And so that was kind of my jump into it, was just being asked, you know, hey, what do you want to do? And saying, hey, this is what I want to do. And not being afraid to just say it and then jump into it. So fast forward, I started producing the show and the animations. That was my first jump into producing. It was hard, it was fun, it was challenging, but you know, ultimately you learn a lot. Going back to the focus, and I know I can give like some of my credentials or whatever, so you can kind of know what I've done. But you know, when you talk about all these different things that you want to do, my personal belief is, at least that works for me, is do what makes you happy in the moment. And I'm not saying don't be short-sighted or be impulsive, but I'm saying like oftentimes what you want to do in the moment is the path to get you where you want to go. You know, and so I've been producing. I've done I've done a lot. I really enjoy it. And I do a lot of different things. So I would say my primarily like, and this is another thing that I really realized to hone in on is like hone in on what your strongest gift or asset is in the moment. So like you young lady over there in the purple hair, you said that you're a dancer, singer?
I'm a singer.
You singer? Would you say that singing is one of just stronger than your acting, at least right now, or you tell me? I'm not.
I've kind of always done all of that.
Really?
Been acting, singing, but I feel like singing is like my main focus right now.
Right, so singing is your main, at least right now, right? And that's right. And some of y'all like you can, and I've had this myself, and other people are like, I can't name one. I'm really good at all of it. I really love it, and that's okay too. But like she said, singers are focused now, and I'm assuming you're enjoying it.
I love it. I would love to find a way to put all of it together. Like one of my biggest dreams is to be on Broadway. That would be a cool way to mix it all up. But I know that's not something I'm working towards right now. I have short-term goals right now.
And excuse me, I just called you purple hair. What's your name?
Melody.
Melody. Pleasure to meet you, Melody. I'm Vince. And then so that was so good, by the way. So good. Did you hear that? She's like, I have all these things, and I'm looking the way to pull together. And you will. You can, and you will. Like I promise you, you have that ability. We all have that ability. It's the people around us, the haters, the people, you know, our own insides, our own things that think that we can't do it, but we can. And we absolutely can. And they all make sense together. That's the best thing about it. And I'm going to touch on some other things too that are emerging technologies that I'm going to say as, you know, I know this room is diverse, but we're mostly people of color, you know, that we need to be cognizant of. We need to be doing our research on if you feel led. I mean, I'm not going to force it on anyone, and I'm not selling anything, don't worry. What was I thinking? Oh yeah, tying all the things together. So, you know, so I would say my like I found out, like, if I'm totally honest, I'm not a great actor. I'm not a good actor at all. So like when it comes to y'all, like really honing in on your craft and doing what you love to do, like all the respect and all the love to you. Like I love actors. Why? Because you do what I can't do or don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying it in the best way possible. And so I found out real early that it was like, once I clicked in with producing an animation show, I was like, oh yeah, producing's my thing. This is it, you know? And it was clear. Like, they were hiring producers all that time. That's why they asked me. I think between like a week and a half, 2 weeks, they hired maybe about 10 to 14 producers, a lot of producers. They hired a lot because we were all producing a lot of different short animation. Animation takes time, it takes development, blah, 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 blah. And so in that time, by the way, you can interrupt me anytime. So I can just go on.
I know you get somewhere.
Okay, cool. Okay, and I also want to open up if anyone has any questions. I'll
Yeah,
save
do y'all
some
have
time.
any questions so far? Yes.
Why don't you share with them your timetable to become a quantified producer?
Oh, quantified. You never become, no, that's a good question. I would say the timetable when I can quantify producers is when I got my first job. And that's another thing we need to think of. When you get your first job, whether you were getting paid or not, when you were doing it, you were qualified. You may be qualified, you may not be qualified to do a feature film or maybe qualified to do this big thing, but you're qualified. And that's a lot of times what this industry will try to tell you is that you're not qualified. You're too young, you're too old, you're too this, you're too that. It's fucking bullshit. I'm just gonna say it. It's absolute bullshit. And here's why, is because if you're doing it, this is what my mentor always told me. He was like, you know how when you're ready, Vince? When you're doing it.
Yes.
Right.
I love
How, because you're doing it.
Yeah.
And I in so many years of my life, I'm like, why am I not doing this? Why is it not here? Why isn't it arrived? It's because I wasn't ready. And then all of a sudden you find yourself on set, you find yourself doing this, you find yourself doing that, you find yourself singing, dancing on stage, and you're like, oh, I'm ready. You know, that's when you're ready. So to answer your question, whenever you're doing it, you're ready. That's when you're ready. Or quantified, excuse me.
What other questions do y'all have so far?
What's your process with you doing so many things? I know there's people around you saying you can't all the time. How do you block that out and continue to?
It's a really good question. You keep a very close, tight-knit circle of people you listen to. If you find that social media is affecting your mental health, you remove it. There has been many seasons, long seasons, where I have removed social media from my phone. I have not talked with people and communicated with people that when I talked with them, when I got off the phone, I realized that they were eroding my confidence.
Yeah.
And it could be the little, and let me be clear, it could be your mom, it could be your dad, it could be your best friend, it could be anyone. It could be your husband, your wife, your partner.
I think that a lot of people too are just afraid to just have solitude. We feel like we gotta always be around somebody. If we're not comfortable with ourselves, how can we be comfortable around other people? You know, take that time for yourself to think about your next moves, to think about who you are, who you want to be. It's just so important to take that time and really be so aware of the energy you put out and the energy you let in. Because it affects everything. If you're around negativity or people who don't get what you're doing, they're going to rub off on you. If you're around winners, they're going to rub off on you. Like, if you're around a whole bunch of people that just talk about, oh, one day we're going to do this. No, today we're doing it. We're doing it now. It's not about one day. It's about now. That's all we really have, if you really think about it. I want to do this exercise real quick, y'all. Everybody get out your phone and look at your calculator. This is something that scared me, I did. So, I want you to put in your calculator 365. 365. And multiply it by your age. What numbers are coming up?
A lot.
That's how many days you've been on this earth. How crazy. I'm going to say that again. That's how many days you have been on this earth. I'm at 13,500. It's up to us to realize that our time is so precious and it will expire one day. If we've been on this earth thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of days and we haven't produced some of the results that we want, it's time to take a second and take a pivot and think about what we need to do moving forward to get us to where we want to go. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results. That's the definition. Okay? So I want you all to think about that. Take everything that he said in, because a lot of us don't know exactly what we want to do, right? And that's okay. But it's not okay. It's like, okay, we even if we're born in poverty, if we die in poverty, that's on us. We have so many resources and tools. We have so many things that we can access. We need to see how we can be better for the next generation. I don't want just a room full of great actors, great singers. We need to be innovators. We're the future. We're now. We need to really think about how can we change the trajectory of the next generation, our kids, grandkids, right? How can we start to think about building wealth? And I know you were talking about crypto, so we can go into that next too. How can we start to think about how we're going to build wealth? How can we start to think about how we're going to change the narrative moving forward? We have to look at what we've done so far, have grace with ourselves, and then see how we can move better in a different way. So I know that you have also embarked upon crypto, and you have diversified yourself through the many things that you do using that as well. Could you touch on that a little bit before we close up?
Sure, and I want to, to tie it into crypto, I want to more so talk about tying all your gifts and talents together. What is every single person, one of us in this room? I thought you were raising your hand. We're creators. We are all creators. We all have the ability to create. So whether it's producing, dancing, singing, acting, we're creating something. And we need to use, I heard Kendall say it, I wish I was here earlier, because you always dropping by, I'm learning. So thank you. She was talking about, shoot, now I lost my train of thought.
Creatives, we're all creatives.
No, something before creatives. How in our phone, how there's like, there's got to be like, oh my God, when she said that, I was like, and I'm like, oh my God, I have so many contacts, and not even, keep in mind, leveraging. Like, we need to use these things that we have and not be afraid. Like, to me, in the industry at this point, of course you got ethics, of course you have your morals, of course you have, respect and laws that we have to follow. But aside from that, there's no rules. Leverage what you want. Call who you want. DM who you want. Reach out. Say, hey, I got this. I want to do this. And don't, and you know what? And I'll say this. First-hand raising. Sorry, I'm tired. Rejection is real, and fear of rejection is very real. Super fucking real. And I was scared of it for so long, and every single time I would just take my toe out and go bloop, and not get rejected. It was like the door would just open up. And let me be clear too. And also, every time that I would go out with the attitude of no matter how many times I'm rejected, and it's the same cliche thing, but it is so real. I've been telling myself this recently with this deal I'm trying to get going through is all it takes is one yes. All it really takes is one yes. Okay, so let me tie it up with the crypto. So I'm sure everybody knows about Bitcoin. Everybody knows something about crypto. We've seen the markets crashing. We may have lost money. I don't want to talk on that. I'm not trying to get us in the weeds of that. What I do want to get us on the same page of is emerging technology and how you can use that as an artist to leverage that to make not just a little bit of money, but millions. I see you know what I'm talking about. You know what it is. There was a period of time, and I'm going to make this super clear because it's coming back again. And now is your time to prepare. Mark my word. There was a period of time when a lot of people made a lot of money during the dot-com boom, right? I personally was too young to really understand what was going on, but I saw it and I wanted to be a part of it, but I didn't quite understand it. It wasn't my time yet. And so I caught a whiff of it in 2016. I've been a stock trader for years. This is not stock trading. It's not about this. So let's make this clear. I started trading Bitcoin because I like money. I love money. If I'm not even going to front, I love money. And there's nothing wrong with loving money because money allows you freedom to do what you want as an artist. And my personal belief, and I wish this for every artist to get this in their soul, like every artist to get this in their soul, is that you have the right on this earth to do what you love to do and to make money, to make a living at it and to thrive in it. And that is a belief that you've got to get down deep inside. Like, I believe that. Like, just like once there was a baker that loved to bake bread and loved to create these delicious treats for us to eat and loved it, and he got paid, or he or she got paid for it. And oftentimes we're doing these things that we don't want to do. And I'm not saying don't do it. You got to do it out of necessity, but move into alignment that you have the right and the ability to make that doing what you love. And don't listen to, well, there's only this so many jobs or this and so anyways, getting into crypto. So crypto, there's an underlying technology. I'm just going to say do a lot of research, but I'm going to get to the point is that there's a creator economy that is booming. Excuse me, it's not booming right now. It's budding, and it's going to be booming even more. Elon Musk, obviously we all know who he is, now the new owner of Twitter, has said he is turning the Twitter platform into a creator economy. Keyword economy. What happens in an economy? Money is exchanged, meaning there is opportunities. I'm just finding this out recently that like there's actual agencies that are paying these influencers, micro-influencers, less than 10,000 people. Good money, like rent money, like car money, like, and I don't have a lot of followers. To just post something, to do something organic. Because they realize that actual grassroots marketing works. It's authentic, you know? And so, but that's like the tip of the iceberg. Or that's where I'm running the plane. There was a period of time first of all, how many people knows what a non-fungible token, an NFT, or a digital collectible is?
I'm just gonna ask about that. Go ahead.
Okay, so a lot of people, some people don't know. I'm gonna break it down really as the best I can is, everybody knows obviously video games. You know when you have, or no, you know, like I'm trying to think of a little app or something. You know in your little app, or you know my friend is here. He's outside. Is there something you can go grab? He says he's in the lobby. His name is Dre. He's actually into this too. Really, really. I think he's in the front. I don't know. He just says he's in the lobby. He says I'm down in the lobby. I have no I'm down the hallway. Okay, thank you so much. NFT technology. Okay, I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna start forwards and go backwards. So there was a period of time from about, I would say, Q4, fall winter of 2020 to about about a year, fall winter 2021. What's up, big homie Dre? This is my friend, very, very wealthy in crypto and NFTs as well. So there's a year time where artists could create these NFTs, these digital tokens, right? And make thousands, if not millions of dollars. It was a very short window, right? And it's related finances, it was related to the money printing, it was related to a lot of stuff. But what it gave us a glimpse into is that you as a creator have the ability to create something, own it, put it on the blockchain, digital ownership, a digital ledger, and then sell it to someone, right? Mm-hmm. And then when you sell to someone, you make real money that you can put into your bank account, right? And so this was a time I've never seen before, right? I have never seen this ever in crypto. It gave all the numbers and all the stocks and all this thing. It turned it on its head because now, instead of all the and there's nothing wrong with them, all the geeks and all the super smart people who know all the math and can do all the analytics, it didn't matter. It's who could create the best skit, who could create the best artwork, who could have the best whatever in any sort of art field, dance, music, acting, you name it. You know, if you could create something, a video, a token, anything, and put it and sell it, you can make a lot of money. And people just ran off with it. So much so that where did stand back up again? Look at his shirt right quick. See that brand right there? That's a brand called Artifact. Has anybody heard of Artifact?
Yeah.
Okay. Artifact is owned by Nike. So much so that a group of artists created a shoe brand. They created shoes, right? You know, and Nike bought them for $300 million, something crazy, millions of dollars, right? But this is just one story. These kind of companies are popping up every day and buying all sorts of artists and paying for all sorts of things. Getting to the point is that window now, because it came in a boom and bust cycle, like many things in stocks and in any kind of cycle, it's going to have its big peaks, it's going to boom, and then it's come back down. But now what is this time? Now is the time to build. Now is the time to create. Now is the time to get used to your camera skills, get used to your auditioning skills, get used to your creation skills, get used to your dancing, your singing, whatever. Learn, getting used to and I'm just learning this too, like straight up. I've been on Twitter because I like Twitter for me personally, because of the intellectual activity, and that it really stimulates me more than pictures for me, although I love pictures. But Instagram, I just think I read like 2 weeks ago or a week ago, they're rolling out a creator economy too. Instagram, Facebook, Meta. We already know TikTok as a creator community, you know, and Elon Musk. I swear I'm not trying to flex, but I literally was in the space, Drake and vouch with Elon Musk last night on Twitter, talking to Elon Musk. The first thing he said was, Dogecoin to the moon. Swear to you, that's what he said. The next thing he said was about buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, in Dogecoin and storing it. The other thing he talked about was how he's creating a creator economy where we can make money being creators, make livings being creators. And if there's anybody that we know that can turn an industry on top of its head, it's Elon Musk. He's done it with the auto industry. He's done it with really it's the battery industry. He's done it with many other industries, right?
Yes.
So landing the plane is, and I'm happy to answer more questions. I don't want to go too deep down the rabbit hole, but do your research and start researching how do you leverage your craft, whatever your craft is, into these new technologies. Because I'm telling you, that's what I'm doing right now. And there is literally billion-dollar funds that are looking to invest in films, that are looking to invest in music, that are looking to invest in anything that you guys do, for this new creator economy, in NFTs, in digital ownership, in digital collectibles. It's here. I've been doing it for 6 years now, and it's only been around 12 since Bitcoin was started. It hasn't been around that long, but this is the new .com, and now is the time, right now. Not at the top when Bitcoin is $60,000. Right now when Bitcoin is $15,000. Think about that. Everybody want to put their money into Bitcoin and Ethereum when it's at the hot. Now is the time. And even if you don't have the money, it's not about the money. It's about putting in your time and energy. And that's the cool thing, is that now we have these creator economies that are being built. We already have the rails. We already have the rails of social media. But now we have these creator economies that are being built that we can capitalize on. Everybody. Dre, how many, because I wanted this other witness in the house. Dre, how many, regular people just like us came up in the last year on NFTs and digital technology and all of this?
Our entire community.
Our entire community.
I met Vince through this community, and we all came together. We actually are creating another community that's utilizing and leveraging the relationship that Nike has with Artifact to build more opportunities for business. Clothing opportunities, these shoes I designed, this is actually what I brought Vince. Those are his shoes. So we just dived into multiple ventures through these partnerships and these relationships that we're building off of exactly what he's talking about.
Amazing. Whew. Did y'all get on that? That was a lot of that was a lot of shoes. So I want to thank you so much. How can everyone follow you, keep up with you, and what you have going on?
Sure. So this is my suggestion. For the cryptocurrency, NFTs, this is what I'm telling. I have clients now that I'm consulting with on this, and they're like, I tell them to come on in, Queen.
All right.
Come on in.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. This is the key thing. Is right now this lives on crypto Twitter. Like, this is where you want to be. There's a lot of scams, lots of scams, especially on it. So follow it's called Undox, meaning people don't know who I am. Don't dox me. Don't tell people. So Ninja, NINJA TV Film. That is my Twitter handle. Follow me. Send me a DM. Let me know you were here so I can welcome you. And then my Instagram is Vince Allen. I put producer stuff on my Instagram. But let me tell you something. The real value is in me, not just me giving you the ability to make money, but me. I'm on Twitter because I am not exaggerating, I'm not less. I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars on Twitter, y'all. On specifically just being a part of these communities. Dre knows, it's not about the money for me because I wasn't expecting it, but I'm telling you, you have this opportunity. I'm not trying to sell you something. So I'm like, follow me. Watch what I post. See who I interact with. You'll see all the posts with me with Elon last night. You'll see it. You'll see who I'm talking to. I mean, I've been able to connect with CEOs and the biggest. I mean, Scottie Pippen followed me the other day and was like, Dre, it was like, I see what you're doing, and I'm like, whoa, Scottie Pippen, And this is like I didn't mean to create this lane. I just was doing what I love to do, being a creator. Creating stuff. Anyway, all right, I'm wrapping up.
No, thank you so much, y'all.
But the most important one is the Ninja TV
The
film.
Ninja TV
because
film.
I want you guys to get the education. That's where you'll get it and learn about where to make the money.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, you guys. We're actually about to break with the lunch in a second. But I want to give you all some home play. I don't want to say homework. before tomorrow, okay? So we've been talking about relationships, right? And we've been talking about the importance of relationships and building relationships, and that's what Actors Jumpstart is really all about, teaching you how to build relationships efficiently and consistently. You cannot know too many great people in this industry. Tomorrow I'm gonna go over how to get a talent agent. So you do not want to miss tomorrow. Like, I'm going to go over step by step exactly what you need to do in order to get a talent agent who actually is in alignment with the shows and projects that are gonna cash you. So it's a really special strategy that I teach that I'm gonna go over tomorrow. But for home play, I want you all to make your Dream 100 list. What is a Dream 100 list? Your Dream 100 list is 100 people that you want to actually work with, not actors, but actually executives that you want to work with. What we're doing is we're slowly starting to build your personal profile of people that you want to align with and you want to work with. So your Dream 100 list, I want to see this tomorrow, y'all. I'm gonna be checking y'all home play. But creating this list is now putting the intention out in the universe of, okay, these are the people that I want to align with, and really have intention and purpose as to why. Not because, oh, I think their hair is cool, like, or, you know, like, actually research them. What projects are they doing that you want to be a part of? Really research and see, and take the time tonight. You know, enjoy this LA weather. It's beautiful today, but really see who you want to connect with and work with. Your Dream 100 list. I want you to make also, number 2, I want you to make your 1-year goals. What do you want to see yourself 1 year from now? The scariest thing for me is to look up a year later and be in the same place. That makes me cringe. So it's up to us to make sure that we're elevating and pushing ourselves to new heights. But we first have to have the intention of doing that and writing it down on paper, having it come from your brain to that paper, and then putting that vibration out in the world actually activates something inside of you and also in your environment and what you attract. So this is a very powerful exercise. Every time Tiffany does this, something happens. Honestly, Tammy, literally, it's so powerful. You may think, well, I gotta write this down. This is not, like, really do it with the intention of, this is actually who I am. I just have not, you know, not that you haven't even met the person yet, but you just haven't physically seen it, but it doesn't mean that it's not real. All right, so 1-year goal, number 2. Number 3, I want you to actually create an Excel sheet of everybody that you've met so far and start to organize. It's an app called Hi Hello.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
Yeah, Hi Hello. You guys write that in your notes. Hi Hello. It's a really great app to help you network, right? It helps you stay organized. Yeah, a couple people using it here. So Hi Hello. That is something else I want you all to download. And when we actually go over more networking strategies tomorrow, then we're going to utilize these tools. But I want to take any last questions that you guys have on building relationships, starting your career, goal setting, mindset, where you're struggling, where you need help, and then we're gonna go ahead and you know, come to an end for day 1. So any questions that y'all have so far? Yes, love.
Mine was, how do we connect with you? You didn't get any of your information or anything.
Okay, you guys ready?
I was like, thanks.
It's on Instagram is Danny Woo, WOO10. And also Book It Acting is on Instagram as well.
If you guys go to the Creative Collective, all of our links are right up there.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Just follow the Creative Collective.
And it's Danny's up there, Kendall's up there, I'm up
All
there.
of us.
All of us.
So you guys, these days are just super, super important because I want you all to actually have tangible things that's gonna help you. Did you get a lot of tangible things today that can get you going? What was your question? You had a question, love?
Oh, I had an aha. So I just was at Vince and what people said is like
a
cringe moment of like being in the same place. I had said that to my team the other day. That I don't want that's the same thing. So thank you for sharing that.
Oh, absolutely.
But I do have a question for Vince. Is with being involved with so many things, how do you focus it in per day to prioritize for your calendar?
That's a really good question. You have to have a clear vision of what you want. So usually I can center around a project or a specific goal. So right now I have an action animated feature that's basically think about I would say it's the Woman King meets Pocahontas in Africa. So I have that. I have a horror film that I've optioned that that I'm going to be directing, that I got funded, and I have a TV show. So I have those three properties. Now, how do I focus on all three? Right? I am in the process of two are funded. I'm in the process though of integrating them into the same technology that I'm over here preaching about, the NFT technology, right? And so when you have a vision of what you want to happen, like I want all of us, but I want specifically my films and my the things that I create to have provenance, and that provenance lives within crypto and the blockchain. It lives forever, you know, on a digital. And I want to have a legacy of being able to, have these properties and these different IPs and stuff being owned, not just by me, but by everybody, by people, because you're able to split things up and give equity. I know it's, but
No, I get it, because it's all three things, but in one universe leading to the same end result.
Exactly.
Legacy for yourself.
And my children.
Did you have a question too?
Yeah, could you shed some light on, I've been hearing a lot about NFT films.
Yeah.
So what is
yeah.
that?
So this I know you guys love the notebooks, the note taking. This is really good. No, this is really good. It's really refreshing to see that people are like really engaged, because that's where you get the most value. And by the way, I'm getting so much value, so thank you. Gala Films, GALA. But let's start with the parent company, which was Gala Games. Long story short, they came from, remember when you'd open up your phone or be on Facebook and you couldn't get rid of Farmville? It was like look at the faces. And Zynga, it was like, oh my God, everything. So it's from the creators of that. So they have a $3 billion fund. It's so funny that you mentioned it. And again, I'm not trying to flex, but literally the VP of the film fund saw me on the space with Elon last night, and now he is in my email. I just saw it. It was like, oh, I saw you. So Gala Film, who else is doing it? Kino DAO, Kino DAO, and every major player, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, is going to be entering the space.
Yeah,
right?
I know, that's what I've been hearing.
Yeah, and what the space has already permeated was like the low hanging fruit, which is nothing wrong with it, was artists, because artists could create their art and then mint it or put it onto the blockchain, make it available as digital collectibles. We all know what digital collectibles are, right? No, we haven't got there yet. Okay, I don't want to take up any more time, but basically, a digital collectible is, you got a physical collectible, right? A statue, right? An award or something, right? Imagine if that same digital collectible was in, everybody understands our Apple Wallet, right?
Yeah.
Was in your Apple Wallet like as a ticket. You know how you get those tickets, like in Eventbrite? Are we tracking now? Are we tracking? I want to make sure everyone. You know how you get those little tickets in your Apple Wallet, you know, your plane ticket, right? Right? Now you, in a way, sort of kind of own that. That's your ticket, right? You can't, nobody can take that ticket away, right? So imagine if that ticket was transferable. So I could send that ticket to her, I could send it to you, I could send, now imagine if that ticket was a piece of artwork, right? With value, right? I could send that ticket of artwork to you with value, right? So I bought the ticket for $5, I sold it to you for $10, right? It just went up in value $10. Kendall's like, hold on, I like that ticket. I want to buy that ticket. Can I buy that ticket off you? And she's like, sure, I'll sell it to you for $15. And you can literally send it to her, right? So it's an exchange of it's a digital form of exchange, right? That you own though. The government can't control it. No one can control it but you. You are in full ownership of that. Yeah.
Do you still make money off the ticket? Like if you was one that served the first?
That's a really good question. Yes. So that's where I don't want to go down. That's where royalties come in. So if you are the original owner and creator of that certain ticket, right, or that digital collectible, you can collect a royalty every time it's passed down, right? So let's just, I'm sorry, what's your name? Let's say Tiffany was the original creator, and the artist for that, and she sold it to me. Let's say she sold it to me for $1, right? And then I sold it to, what's your name, Queen? Right? Zuna. Zuli. I sold it for $5. She'd make 2.5% off that. Then she sold and it goes in perpetuity. So yes, to answer your question, there is a way to make royalties. But to go back to Mr. Acting Coach, who's really awesome, by the way. I'm sorry, what's your name again? Sir? Danny. What he said, there's literally money lining up to spend money on television and film. And let me be clear, it has not been done yet. This is like when Netflix first started and they had a whole bunch of money to give to films and creators. And I saw that too, and I let that pass by me. At least I got the tail end of it, but I saw most of it pass by me, right? And then Amazon lined up, and then Apple lined up. Guess what? There's a whole bunch of rich people lining up to say, hey, we want to give y'all money. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, now is the time to create. And I listen, some of these platforms like Twitter, like I was not necessarily a Twitter native, you know, I was using Instagram and Facebook. But I'm not trying to push Twitter because I have no vested interest in Twitter besides that I really believe it is the best platform and is going to be the #1 platform for you to be able to create content on. I really believe that. I truly believe that. And you can practice right now on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, but get acquainted with Twitter. Because mark my word, I promise you, Elon is going to bring something that we are going to see. It's like, damn, why am I on Twitter? Why wasn't I doing this? You know? Why, you know, and we can get in early, but you've got to have the faith and belief, not in yourself, but like in what you're doing. That you can do it, you know, and don't worry about if you start out small. Like, I started out 1 year ago with nothing, right? Today, I have thousands of followers, and I was on stage with Elon Musk at like 4 a.m. or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you don't, you start so small, but you just build, and then it grows up, and then you're, you know, but again, it's not about the followers, it's about the journey.
Yes, that's a good tie-up. So we're actually going to wrap this up because we're over.
I'm sorry,
Everybody stand up. Like, oh gosh, can we stand up again?
Yes.
If you don't mind, I'm going to pray. If you have a problem with prayer, you can, you know, step out. But I feel it on my spirit to pray for everybody here today because there's a certain anointing in this room, and I can feel it. And my heart is beating so fast because I'm like, wow, there's some special connections, revelations that are going to happen in this room. And I want to be the first to say this isn't a religious event or anything like that, but God is the reason I'm standing here. I've been through so much in my life. And to be here in front of you guys, the same girl from Cleveland that got picked on as a kid, the nerd, the same girl that literally slept on the floor, didn't have nobody to call, catching 3 buses to a job I hated, just because I was great at it, is the same girl that's here right now, and the same girl that's going to continue to elevate, and I want to bring everybody with me. I want everybody in this room to leave as a better version of themselves. And I want you all to know that you're making me also a better version of myself. You really are. So, if you have a problem with prayer, you could definitely leave. If not, I'm about to pray because we're about to eat. All right. So, everybody close your eyes. Dear God, thank you so much for bringing all of us here today. Heavenly Father, thank you for all of the abundance that you have in this room. Thank you for the implementation of this abundance. Thank you for giving us the tools, resources, and guidance to get to the next level of our life. Thank you for making a way out of no way. I pray for somebody in here, God, that needs you, that may not know how to reach you, but know that you're in all of us, God. I thank you so much for all of our dreams, all of our goals, all of our minds elevating to a place we can't even imagine. I want us to think so big that it really makes us uncomfortable, Father God. Make our minds expand and give us the tools, all of the people, all of the connections, all of the places, all of the vibrations that we need to feel so we can get there, God. I pray for anybody who feels like they don't have any hope. I pray that you give them hope. I pray that you give them a way. And I pray that you continue to bless all of us in all of our journeys. This Entertainment Wealth Summit you put on my spirit, and now it's manifested. Their goals you put on their spirit, now manifested. You're the king of this universe. We're not coming to you for crumbs. We don't accept crumbs from you, God. You run everything, and I pray for everyone's career, everyone's mindset, everyone's relationships, everyone's advancement to get to the next level. And I pray for this food in the hands that prepared it, God, because we about to eat. Thank you so much. Amen. Very special moment. And I want you to know that you're here for a reason. I want you to know that you're created for a reason. And I want you to know that each of us has a purpose. Each of us has a purpose here, and we are here to actually execute on that purpose and fulfill that purpose. Okay? So when you come back tomorrow, your home play, Dream 100 list, create a list of 100 different executives that you want to work with, 1-year goals, and come ready to learn how to sign with the best agent for you. Let's all take a picture. Come on over here. Let's all take pictures. Come over here. Day one, honey. Day one. Come on, get this. Y'all, he's still alive. I see y'all kissing in here. Come on, Brian. And then on 3, we're going to say Entertainment Wealth Summit. Like, okay. Come on over here, y'all. All right, so.
Just warming up, y'all be ready. I'm just warming, y'all ready?
So let me get it. 1, 2, 3. Cheese. And 1, 2, 3. Entertainment Wealth Summit on 3. 1, 2, 3. Entertainment Wealth Summit. Testimonial from day one. What did y'all feel about today? I want the truth, right? Because we're going to make this better. We're here to serve everybody. And we're going to get better. It's going to get bigger. You're going to get bigger. And we're going to grow together. All right? Everybody, go ahead and Andre, he's going to get testimonials. Oh, we have a camera over there too. Go to that area over there.
You go
we're going to get the
cameras over there.
Yes.
And get situated to eat.
Yeah, and we're going to get the food ready. All right. Yes. Mingle. Let's start from you, girl.
Probably already know, but when we get on the spot,
I have to give this man a must have. Like, I remember he practiced all the tractions with me. Like, he did a beautiful thing. Yeah, yeah.
okay, so I speak. It's happening every day.
Thank you.